So welcome everybody. This is Ingrid Dinter, ingriddinter.com. I welcome you to our Tuesday morning tapping session. We started this off. This is our second session. We started this off just to help you guys through the stress right now with the whole coronavirus situation, what it does to your lives, what it does to you personally, things that may be coming up, things that are scary for you. And last week we already had a beautiful round of let me just do this way, just a beautiful bow of different things that came up for people. And I always see that it's whoever has something to contribute, whoever has something to share with others, gives everybody else a gift, right? You are never alone. You're never the only one feeling a certain way. There are always a ton of people who say, yeah, that's what I think too. I didn't really know it, but now I know it. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your openness, for your vulnerability. Before we started the recording, we all agreed that, this is going to be on YouTube, on my Facebook page. There's a chance people forward it so they can see and hear you. If you don't want to be seen and heard, just keep yourself muted and turn off your mic, your camera, but they will still be able to see your name. If you're not okay with any of those, then just watch the recording later. You're not going to insult anybody if you say this is not for me. Okay, so we have an agreement here. You also know I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or any way licensed to mental health whatsoever. I am an accredited EFT master trainer. I am also registered with the New Hampshire Board for Mental Health as an alternative provider, which means I'm exempt from licensure. But we're not doing mental health here. So if you need mental health, go to your mental health provider. You all signed that before you logged on. Actually, you clicked on a little link that showed that you read my disclaimer. So with that being said, it's really, really, really nice to see you all. And I'm so grateful for that. I would like to just have a really quick check-in, maybe from a couple of you. Where are you at right now? What might be something that you need today? And then we just jump right in and help you tap through. Okay, so if anybody just wants to raise their hand or raise their hand here in the participants lineup. Yeah, Nancy.
Hey, I'm Nancy Hand. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm glad I saw your email because this whole thing has actually been almost surreal. I find that I wake, my day goes pretty much normally, like it normally does. And then I'll have these moments where I'm like, oh, there's a pandemic. And I'm getting jumpy about every little thing. I got the pollen, I'm like, all right, I understand the pollen and I know what's pollen and I know what's not pollen or whatever. But, every little ache or pain, I'm like, is it the corona? And yesterday, I had a strange thing where my shoulder just started to hurt randomly and, little things like that. And that's pretty much it. And I wanted to say hi, and it's so wonderful to see your beautiful face.
Well, it's great to see you. Nancy is a fantastic EFTer as well, just by the way, and she wrote some really wonderful books. So I just have to say that.
Thank you.
Because I adore you. However, and I think what is really a problem,
shadow,
Yeah, and I think this is really so wonderful you saying that, because I think it opens the door to all of us just admitting, even though we know what we're doing with EFT more or less, that doesn't mean we're not struggling. Right. Yeah. And it doesn't mean we should have our shit together, just tap on it and all goes away. That's just not life. That's not how it works. And it's really important that we just own that. I have my moments. So why don't we tap on that? Can anybody relate to this? Okay. So can anybody not relate to this? Show of hands. All right. Nancy, ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Karate chop point. Even though really hard right now.
It's really hard right now.
The truth is,
this
is getting to me. Especially in moments when I don't expect it. All of a sudden. This demon raises its ugly head. And it's just there. Out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming.
I know it's there.
I know it's there.
And I don't know what to do with it.
And I don't know what to do with it.
And I completely accept.
And I completely accept.
That is where I'm at right now.
That's where I am right now.
And even though I'm in a really tough place right now.
I'm in a really tough place right now.
Because this shit is real.
Because this shit is real.
At least it's real out in the world.
At least it's real out in the world.
I see it on TV.
I see it on TV.
I hear it from friends.
I hear it from friends.
I don't know how far away or close it is.
I don't know how far away or close it is. It's like a ghost.
Yeah. It's like a ghost that may be showing up.
That may be showing up.
And there is nothing I can do about it.
There's nothing I can do about it.
And that's just where I'm at right now.
And that's where I am right now.
And I don't even know.
And I don't even know.
If it's stupid to feel safe anyways.
If it's stupid to feel safe.
And even though it might be.
And even though it might be.
That this hypervigilance is saving my life right now.
That this type of vigilance is saving my life right now.
Because I better pay attention.
I better pay attention.
I better be careful.
I better be careful.
I better not be stupid right now.
I better not be stupid right now.
That would not be safe.
And that would not be safe.
And I accept how I deal with this.
And I accept how I deal with this.
And choose to open up to the possibility.
And choose to open up to the possibility.
That it might still be okay and safe.
That it might still be okay and safe.
To release the excess terror.
To release the excess terror.
And the excess stress around this.
And the excess stress around this.
Top of your head, it makes a lot of sense right now.
It makes a lot of sense right now.
Inside of the eyebrow, to watch all the symptoms.
To watch all the symptoms.
Outside of the eye, to wonder if the cough is coronavirus.
To wonder if the cough is coronavirus.
Under the eye, to see if I'm sneezing or not.
To see if I'm sneezing or not.
Nose, upper lip, and what my breath is doing.
And what my breath is doing.
Lower lip and chin, and my temperature.
And my temperature.
Collarbone, there is nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Under the arm, it's actually a good idea.
It's actually a good idea.
Top of your head, and that should not even be a surprise.
And that should not even be a surprise.
Inside of the eyebrow, it should just be what I need to do right now.
To just do what I need to do right now.
Outside of the eye, what I don't need.
What I don't need.
Under the eye is to feel terror on top of that.
Is to feel terror on top of that.
Nose and upper lip, to feel like this is a ghost.
To feel like this is a ghost.
Lower lip and chin, because it's not a ghost.
Because it's not a ghost.
Collarbone, I do have control where I go.
I do have control where I go.
Under the arm, I do have control what I do.
I do have control what I do.
Top of your head, as long as I know my symptoms.
As long as I know my symptoms.
Inside of the eyebrow, I'm probably going to be surprisingly okay.
I'm probably going to be surprisingly okay.
Outside of the eye, there's no reason to feel terror on top of that.
There's no reason to feel terror on top of that.
Under the eye, maybe it's okay.
Maybe it's okay.
Nose and upper lip, to take this one step at a time.
To take this one step at a time.
Lower lip and chin, in a way that feels responsible to me.
In a way that feels responsible to me.
Collarbone, and calming.
And calming.
Under the arm, and surprisingly in control.
And surprisingly in control.
Top of your head, because this is a difficult time.
Because this is a difficult time.
And it requires different measures.
And it requires different measures.
Take a breath.
I just figured out where I hurt my arm.
Where you hurt your arm?
Yeah, because I told my arm, like, it feels like I pinched a nerve or something. And I was like, what did I do? It's been like 3 days. It's gotten worse and worse. And I had trouble sleeping last night because of it. And I couldn't figure it out. I was using, I was shoveling dirt 3 days ago. And like, I was like, what could I have possibly done to aggravate my shoulder? And like nothing was coming up. And I spent like a day shoveling dirt into buckets and carrying buckets of dirt. And I just didn't think about it until just now.
And I think this is so great.
With it coming out of the blue, or actually being able to attach it to a thing I did, is huge, because all last night I was laying awake going, oh my God, this is completely out of the blue. Why is my shoulder hurting? and I
Yeah.
couldn't put the pieces together. Oh
So
God, I want to cry.
this is
That is such a
great.
relief.
This is great. See, this is exactly what this is. Our life goes on, we're shoveling dirt. And
Yeah,
that doesn't mean we're completely safe, but quite frankly, we're never completely safe. I mean, this
yeah,
is not the only thing in our lives that is a problem. And
yeah.
it's probably okay to
It's so
um,
great to have a
pay
know where
attention.
that came from.
Yeah.
Because seriously, if it feels like it's out of the blue and you can't attach it to a reason, it's especially scary, you know?
Correct to your point, even though it's especially scary
Even though it's especially scary
when you have a symptom that you don't know where it comes from.
when you have a symptom and you don't know where it comes from.
I acknowledge my fears right now
I acknowledge my fears right now
with great kindness and compassion.
with great kindness and compassion.
And even though these are unprecedented times,
And even though these are unprecedented times,
there is no two ways about it.
there's no two ways about it.
It wouldn't be logical to feel safe.
It wouldn't be logical to feel safe.
Only people who don't get it go to the beach right now.
All I heard was Nancy needs to
Only
go to the beach right now.
no, only people who don't understand go to the beach right now.
Only people who don't understand go to the beach right now.
It's not called for to feel safe and ignorant,
It's not called for to feel safe and ignorant,
but it's perfectly okay
but it's perfectly okay
to release the excess stress around this.
to release the excess stress around this.
And even though I will always have symptoms
And even though I will always have symptoms
that I don't know where they come from,
and I don't know where they come from,
because I think that shoveling dirt should not impact my physical body,
because I think that shoveling dirt should not impact my physical body,
or a heavy meal should not end up in my making me feel nauseous,
or a heavy meal shouldn't make me feel nauseous,
or a cold shouldn't be a cold.
or a cold shouldn't be a cold.
It needs to be a deadly virus.
It needs to be a deadly virus.
And allergies don't exist.
And allergies don't exist.
It's a killer virus.
It's a killer virus.
Hands down.
Always.
It must be.
It must be.
It wasn't 5 weeks ago,
It wasn't 5 weeks ago,
but today it's the virus.
but today it's the virus.
And I must freak out about it.
And I must freak out about
On top of being cautious
on top of being cautious
and responsible.
and responsible.
The truth is
The truth is
that I already know
that I already know
what is right,
what is right,
what is important,
what is important,
and what is excess fear.
and what is excess fear.
Top of your head. So here I am,
So here I am,
inside of the hour, part of a world community,
part of a world community
outside of the hour that is scared and hypervigilant right now.
that is scared and hypervigilant right now.
Under the eye, people process this differently.
People process this differently.
Now it's an upper lip. This is my way of processing.
This is my way of processing,
Lower lip and chin, and there's nothing wrong with it.
and there's nothing wrong with it.
Collarbone, but I don't need to have excess fear.
But I don't need to have excess fear.
Under the arm, sometimes a shovel of dirt is a shovel of dirt.
Sometimes a shovel of dirt is a shovel of dirt.
And it's okay if my arm is sore afterwards.
And it's okay if my arm is sore afterwards.
Take a breath.
I'm kind of giddy right now. I feel it's such a relief to know that I can.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, of course. See, this stuff's important. You know,
Well, when
anybody else feels hypervigilant right now? Just show of hands, or you can unmute yourself. Yeah, do you want to unmute yourself? It says JH. I don't know what that means. Let me just unmute you. There you go.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jessa.
Jessa.
Yeah. I'm feeling, I'm not used to being a germaphobe. And
Yeah.
I am.
I have a young baby as well who's 7.5 months. And I think that is making me extra nervous or concerned about possibly, this coming into our house. So yeah, like I bleached everything that I bought at the grocery store the other day. It just seems a little crazy and over the top. But I think hypervigilant is the right word. It's not vigilant, it's hypervigilant.
Well, okay, karate to a point. Even though I have responsibility for others right now.
Even though I have responsibility for others right now.
And I bleached everything in the house.
And I bleached everything in the house.
And it seems a little hypervigilant.
And it seems a little hypervigilant.
It seems a little OCD.
It seems a little OCD.
The truth is,
The truth is,
I'm responsible for a 7-month-old.
I'm responsible for him as a mother.
And he's 7 months old. He can't protect himself.
And he's 7 months old. He can't protect himself.
And I will be damned if I let something happen to him.
And I'll be damned if I let something happen to him.
And even though this is true for me right now,
And even though this is true for me right now,
I need to make sure that my house is clean.
I need to make sure that my house is clean.
And it seems excessive.
And it seems excessive.
Maybe it is excessive.
Maybe it is excessive.
But maybe it's right.
But maybe it's right.
I will know in hindsight
I will know in hindsight
if I made a huge mistake bleaching my house.
if I made a huge mistake bleaching my house.
If it's unforgivable to ever do that.
If it's unforgivable to ever do that.
If I should have never done that.
If I should have never done that.
If I should have just leave it as is and bring in the dirty groceries.
If I should just leave it as is and bring in the dirty groceries.
I will know in hindsight.
I will know in hindsight.
But for right now,
But for right now,
I'm just going to do the best that I can.
I'm just going to do the best that I can.
Top of your head, this is so over the top.
This is so over the top.
Side of the eyebrow. I've never seen anything like it.
I've never seen anything like it.
Outside of the eye. Look at what we need to do.
Look at what we need to do.
Under the eye. We're bleaching our groceries.
We're bleaching our groceries.
No, it's not bullet, but this virus is a ghost in a way.
But this virus is a ghost in a way.
Well, and we're very fortunate that it hasn't entered the house yet.
We're very fortunate it hasn't entered the house yet.
Halaman, and the truth is we want to keep it that way.
And the truth is we're going to keep it that way.
Under the arm, and only I know, and I will only know in hindsight if I made a huge mistake.
And I will only know in hindsight if I made a huge mistake.
But the truth might be
But the truth might be
that even if it was unnecessary,
that even if it was unnecessary,
it was never a mistake.
it was never a mistake.
Take a breath. How does that feel, Jessa?
That helps. I feel just a lot of sort of like stirring in my heart and throat, just sort of sadness.
Yeah. Sadness of what?
That this is happening, and that we're separate from family and friends right now with a young child.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Karate to your point, even though this is overwhelmingly sad right now.
Even though this is overwhelmingly sad right now.
He is 7 months old.
He's 7 months old.
My family should be able to enjoy him.
My family should be able to enjoy him.
I should get some help.
And I should get some help.
I don't want to be separated.
I don't want to be separated.
I want to be with my family right now.
I want to be with my family right now.
And it's so unfair that I don't get to do that.
And it's so unfair that I don't get to do that.
Just to keep him and my family safe.
Just to keep him and my family safe.
And I deeply acknowledge the sadness that I feel.
And I deeply acknowledge the sadness that I'm feeling.
Such sadness.
Such sadness.
It is not easy for me.
This is not easy for me.
It's very hard for me.
It's very hard for me.
And I deeply and completely accept myself.
And I deeply and completely accept myself.
And even though I'm so sorry.
And even though I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry that this is happening.
That this is happening.
And I can't prevent it.
And I can't prevent it.
I can't keep this away from him.
I can't keep this away from him.
I can only do my best to protect him right now.
I can only do my best to protect him right now.
Bleach the house and the broccoli.
Bleach the house and the broccoli.
Just do whatever I can possibly do.
And just do whatever I can possibly do.
To get him through okay.
To get him through okay.
And pick up the pieces later.
And pick up the pieces later.
I have the right to feel sad right now.
I have the right to feel sad right now.
Because this is not what I wanted.
Because this is not what I wanted.
And it's unfair to me and him.
And it's unfair to me and him.
And the whole world who's involved in this together.
And the whole world who's involved in this together.
Top of your head, this is so sad.
This is so sad.
Inside of the eyebrow, being separated like that.
Being separated like that.
Outside of the eye. Being alone like that.
Being alone like that.
Under the eye, not being able to do anything.
Not being able to do anything.
No Sinapoli, but other than bleaching the house,
Other than bleaching the house,
Lower lip machine, holding him tight,
holding him tight,
collarbone, getting on Zoom and showing him to the family.
getting on Zoom and showing him to the family.
Under the arm. Well, they should be here and they should be hugging him.
And they should be here and they should be hugging him.
Top of yet, I miss them.
I miss them.
Inside of the hour, I miss them more than I might even be willing to admit.
I miss them more than I might even be willing to admit.
Outside of the eye, and I'm just gonna acknowledge that sadness.
And I'm just going to acknowledge that sadness.
So much sadness.
So much sadness.
So much sadness.
So much sadness.
There is a lot of sadness.
There is a lot of sadness.
Which part of this would not be sad?
Which part of this would not be sad?
And I'm supposed to be grateful for doing okay.
And I'm supposed to be grateful for doing okay.
But I've been okay before, and this is not what I needed to do.
But I've been okay before, and this is not what I needed to do.
And this is not how it felt.
Sorry, I missed the last thing.
And it is not how I felt.
And it's not how I felt. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
How do you feel now?
I feel a lot clearer. The sadness doesn't seem as overwhelming. And I can see it more for the temporary situation that it is, rather than feeling like it's going to damage him forever, or that type of thing. That sort of catastrophe thinking is kind of calming down.
Which part do you think would damage him?
Just not being around other humans. Like, it's pretty weird to, walk by on the street and try to avoid people. And, he's really social. And before this, whenever we were in programs at the library, or we were out even doing groceries, he would just like smile at everybody, and he just loves people. And now it just feels like we're, kind of depriving him of that, and introducing him to this weird world where everybody avoids each other. And I just hope that that's not like a permanent stamp on his.
So right at your point. Even though the truth is
that
I'm damaging my 7-month-old forever.
that I'm damaging my son forever.
Because he's already 7 months old.
He's already 7 months old.
He knows all about social life.
He knows all about social life.
He knows all about connecting and networking.
He knows all about connecting.
He really needs to be out in the world right now.
He really needs to be out in the world right now.
Absorbing all that great energy from other people.
Absorbing all that great energy from other
He's
people.
already 7 months old, and he really needs that developmentally.
He's already 7 months old and really needs that development.
And I'm damaging him for life.
I'm damaging him for life.
Gotta be awful.
It's going to be awful.
He will be an introvert from now on.
He will be an introvert from now on.
Destroyed forever.
Destroyed forever.
Because when he was 7 months old,
he was
awful. He could not go to the library.
He was awful. He could not go to the library.
And he will remember this until the day has come.
And he'll remember this the rest of his life.
Yes. And even though this is hard.
This is hard.
And it would be nicer to have him outside right now.
And it would be nicer to have him outside right now.
And we have him, and we're all struggling with the isolation.
And we're all struggling with the isolation.
The truth is he has a very long life ahead of him.
He has a very long life ahead of him.
And he is going to learn a lot about me.
And he's going to learn a lot about me.
And who I am.
And who I am.
And how I make up for this.
And how I make up for this.
And how much I love him through all of it.
And how much I love him through all of it.
He's not going to childcare.
He's not going to childcare.
He's not away from me.
He's not away from me.
He's at home where he's safe.
He's at home where he's safe.
Trying to keep him busy.
Trying to keep him busy.
And laugh with him as much as other people would.
And laugh with him as much as other people would.
But it could be that he really hates that right now.
But it could be that he really hates us right now.
Chances are he's probably going to be okay.
Chances are he's probably going to be okay.
Top of your head. I miss the library too.
I miss the library too.
I love watching how he is when he is with others.
I love watching how he is when he's with others.
We'll all have to pay a price right now.
We all have to pay a price right now.
And it's very sad for me.
And it's very sad for me.
And I wonder if it's okay.
And I wonder if it's okay.
To pivot for a moment.
To pivot for a moment.
Just focus on him.
And just focus on him.
And not my fears for him.
And not my fears about him.
Just focus on him.
Just focus on him.
See how precious he is.
See how precious he is.
And what a special time we have together now.
And what a special time we have together now.
Knowing deep down.
Knowing deep down.
That he gets exactly what he needs right now.
That he gets exactly what he needs right now.
That all of this is temporary.
That all of this is temporary.
And he's learning an important lesson.
And he's learning an important lesson.
That when danger was lurking.
That when danger was lurking.
His mom loved him so much.
His mom loved him so much.
That she was willing to, how do you say it? That she was willing to sanitize the broccoli.
That she was willing to sanitize the broccoli.
Take the breath. How are you feeling?
Better. Yeah. I mean, I think I still have lingering worries, and when I'm with him, I do focus on him and making it sort of as joyful as it can be and that kind of thing. So this is sort of like my time separate from that to really acknowledge what I've been feeling under the surface, and it's good to acknowledge it.
Yeah. And it's not a happy time for anybody. And that's, I think, a part of being resilient means understanding that you can go through difficult times and the times aren't changing and you're still here, right? That knowing is important, right? It's really, it's understanding that, really looking around the way you do. I'm here. My house is clean. Nobody came in who wasn't clean. I am actually okay. There's food on the table. The kid is here. Family can connect, not the way I want to, but at least we're finding our ways. And I'm just going to hunker down for now. That's what resilient people know how to do. Right? And it's a phenomenal lesson, really, in resiliency and focus and learning your own strengths and weaknesses and everything else together. It just, you got to have that experience. You can't just tell somebody. You really got to go through that experience and realize, wow, this was harder than I thought it would be. And I came out on the other side. So power to you. And thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that, just show of hands, that other people feel the same way, or can they relate to this? You can? Okay. Well, great. So thank you. And thanks for showing up. And we're going to do this again next week. And we'll just keep, there are a couple of weeks when I can't do it, but we're just going to do this for as long as you guys need it. I think this is important. Well, thank you, dear. Well, who else would like to tap on something? Yes. Australia, hold on. Let me just unmute you. And it's Australia, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing?
Really nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
And I have a specific problem. I was visiting my family and I'm in Lithuania.
Yeah.
My family is in Long Island, but they are okay. They kind of taking care of themselves, working from home. But I have extreme fear for my friend. She's a doctor in the hospital.
Yeah.
Can't help it. It's not getting better.
Yeah.
And if you could help me with this, I would be grateful.
Yeah. Okay. When that happens, I just want to bring you in your body right now. Okay. That's all I can do for you. Take a breath. Is your friend in the hospital in Long Island?
Yeah, she's a doctor in the hospital. She's a doctor. She's not sick. She's still okay. I'm checking on her.
Does she have
I
supplies?
have extreme fear for her. I don't know why.
No, I understand why. Can you understand why? Show of hands. Yeah. Yeah. So our prayers are with her. I think that is really, that's a really big deal right now. And it's as a community, it's also one of the things that kind of brings us together. This is a wartime situation and she's at the front lines. And that doesn't mean she's going to get hurt.
Yeah,
But I get it.
I hope I will come back and I will find her nice and healthy.
You will find her struggling. She's at the front lines right now. And she's going to need you to be strong for her and be there for her and bring her back into her body knowing she made it through. And cleanse all those memories out. And that's on a whole different level. This is not what we're going to do here. But this is literally like and I'm not a mental health professional, but everybody understands the meaning of the word PTSD. Death-like situations, helplessness, betrayal of that which is right, being let down by leadership, all of those things really lead to some severe struggling. And I just want to acknowledge that. And I do that because I think that it's important to do that. We can't shy this away from this. We can't lie over this and say, oh, it's going to be fine. Okay, so here's what you do. Okay. Deep breath, everybody. And tell me where that fear lives in your body right now.
And it's in the heart. It's not even like.
Okay, how big is it?
Big.
Big. This is not your heart. Your heart is only this big. So
I know the fear is bigger than my heart.
The fear is bigger than your heart. Okay, that's good to know. Remember, we're talking energy fields here. Okay, your heart is about the size of your fist. So this fear is like 10 times that in diameter.
Yeah, we started tapping. I realized it's a fear. I didn't know what was. Every time I think about her, I start crying. Now I understand it's a fear.
Well, we don't know. And on top of that, people do have past life stuff coming up for those of you who believe in that. If you don't, just ignore what I just said. But people get triggered on all sorts of levels. And you can do with that whatever you want to do with that. I'm just understand this is happening. Okay, so you have this fear here right now. And let's just go ahead and tap on that, okay? Tell me, say color to it.
It's a dark, black dark.
Okay. Okay. And it's about a foot across. Anything else that when you focus on this feeling right here, anything else that comes up for thoughts, memories, beliefs, what else is coming up for you?
Oh, yeah, it felt like a dark smoke from the fire.
Okay.
Like I looked, it was dark and it looked like smoke from the fire.
Okay.
It might be when I was 1 year old and my mom was in the hospital for 3 years and I feared for her life. It might trigger that.
And we don't have time here in this setting to work on that, but there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. And most of us have some situation that gets triggered on top of everything else. Maybe something somebody said, something you saw on TV, something that may be popping up. So it's important to just acknowledge it and separate one from the other. Okay. All right. Let me ask you one last question before we tap. Is there any way in which your dark smoke fear for your friend would serve her or keep her safe?
Is in any way,
is there any way that the way you feel about your friend and her safety is actually serving her and keep her safe?
Of course not.
It's
That's
not
what
enough course. I wonder what your thoughts are. Some people
I
say, I'm going to hold the fort here. As long
okay.
as I'm worried, I'm fighting. So I don't know where you're at.
I am at I'm because I understand a lot. I'm a tapper for 12 years. Understand a lot. I know it's not good for her, for me to worry for her and be afraid for her.
Okay.
That's
You
what.
also know that your worry doesn't kill her, right?
No, that's true too.
Okay, good. All right. So whatever it is you're doing is basically on you.
That what I'm doing to honor her work. I am doing EFT tapping with my groups for
Yeah.
free 2 times a week.
There you go.
Mm,
Okay. Let's up. Karate chop
I
point.
wish to get rid of that feeling.
Karate chop point. No, actually, let's not do that. Let's just tap split points. Top of your head. Here I am.
Here I am.
Inside of the ever. I have this dark black hole in the center of my heart.
I have this dark black hole in the center of my heart.
It's way bigger than my heart.
It's way bigger than the heart.
It's about 10 times as big as my heart.
10 times as big as my heart.
And it feels like dark smoke from fire.
It feels like dark smoke from fire.
Because she is in danger right now.
She is in danger right now.
And I have a ton of memories around that kind of feeling.
Ton of memories around that kind of feeling.
I'm just going to acknowledge that fear that I have for her.
I just gonna acknowledge that fear that I have for her.
And all the memories and related issues that it might be bringing up at this time.
All the memories and related issues with that.
So that is where I'm at right now.
This is where I am right now.
It really is.
It really is.
I have this huge dark black spot in the center of my chest.
This huge dark black spot in the center of my heart.
That's how much I worry for her.
That's so much I worry for her.
Even though I'm in Lithuania and she's not.
Even though I'm in Lithuania and she's Long Island.
It feels like I'm there with her.
It feels like I'm there with her, right?
And it's my job to protect her in some ways.
And it's my job to protect her in some way.
And the least I can do is worry for her.
At least I can do is worry for her.
To show her how much I care.
To show her how much I care.
So I care by having this dark black hole in my heart.
I care by having this
dark black hole in my heart.
Black hole in my heart.
Dark smoke from fire.
Dark smoke from fire.
Knowing she's in danger out there.
Knowing she's in danger out there.
And my way to show that I care.
And my way to show that I care.
Is by struggling the way that I do.
That's way.
It's a good way to connect with her emotionally.
To connect with her emotionally.
Is that true?
No.
It's not true. What is true for you?
Love heals everything.
Okay. Even though love heals everything.
Even though love heals everything.
But right now, I can't heal her.
But right now, I can heal her and can protect her.
I cannot protect her.
Cannot protect her.
Even if I was there, I cannot protect her.
Even if I was there, I cannot protect her.
The truth might be.
The truth might be.
That most doctors are still protected anyways.
That most doctors are still protected.
Anyways.
Anyways, yeah. One day at a time.
And even though it feels to me.
And even though it feels to me.
For good reason.
For good reason.
That I have every right to worry.
That I have every right to worry.
The same way I worried.
The same way I worry
When my mom was in the hospital for 3 years.
that my mom was in the hospital for 3 years.
How's your mom now?
She died 10 years ago,
Okay. The truth is
but the truth is,
that even though this went on for 3 years,
even though this went on for 3 years,
mom
she
turned
lived
out to
through
be
it.
okay. She lived through it.
She lived through it.
3 years in the hospital.
3 years in the hospital.
3 years of fear and worry
3 years of fear and worry
until I was relieved from the fear,
until I was relieved from the fear,
knowing she made it through.
knowing she made it through.
And she was sick,
And she was sick.
but she got well again.
She got well again.
I have proof that it's possible.
I have proof that it's possible.
Even if my friend gets sick,
Even if my friend gets sick,
I have proof it's possible to be well after that.
I have proof it's possible to be well again.
It took my mom 3 years,
It took my mom 3 years,
and I was a child.
and I was a child.
I didn't know,
I didn't know.
and I needed her.
I needed her.
But what I know today
What I know today,
is that my friend is an adult.
that my friend is an adult and younger.
She's younger.
She's younger.
She's protected.
She's protected. And my worry is too much. Like
And there's excess worry.
excess worry.
Worry that does not show my love for her.
The worry that does not show my love for her.
That's not necessary to show my love for her.
It's not necessary to show my love for her.
It's not serving her.
It's not serving her.
And it's really hurting me.
And it's really hurting me.
And I wonder if it might be possible
And I wonder if it might be possible
to take the excess worry
to take the excess worry
in some way that works for me
in some way that works for me
and translate it into something
and translate it into something
that's amazing for my friend.
that's
Amazing for my friend.
that's amazing for my friend.
That's actually really helping her.
That's actually really helping her.
That is giving her something she really needs to have or know right now.
That she needs something to have or know right now.
And maybe I can give her something she needs to know or needs to have right now.
Maybe I can give her something she needs to know or have right now.
And maybe I already know what that might be.
And maybe I already know what it might be.
So I can turn my helplessness into activism.
I can turn my helplessness into activism.
And do something that's truly meaningful for her.
And do something that it's truly meaningful for her.
Take a breath. How are you doing?
Thank you, Ingrid. I am doing much better.
How is that feeling in your heart?
That's my feeling. That's, like maybe that smoke is still, circles here around, but I can, examine it maybe later and think about it. What is it?
Okay. Top of your head, that remaining smoke.
That remaining smoke.
Inside of the eyebrow, this remaining smoke.
This remaining smoke.
Outside of the eye, still circulating.
Still circulating.
Under the eye, and I wonder what it is.
I wonder what it is.
No snapple, but know that I know that there is something for me.
But when know that I know that there is something for me.
Oh, Lipinchen, what do I need the smoke for?
What do I need the smoke for?
I choose to be clear-minded.
I choose to be clear-minded.
And clear at heart.
And clear at heart.
So that I can step into the power I have.
That I can step into the power I have.
And share it with those who need it right now.
And share it with those who need it me right now.
There's no reason to have smoke.
There is no reason to have smoke.
And being clear-minded makes me more powerful.
And being clear-minded makes me more powerful.
Take a breath. How did this sit with you?
It's that really good, Yeah, I need strength right now. My people need me. I need to be strong, and I can show it
Well,
other way, because when fear kicks in, I'm even afraid to ask, how are you?
that's exactly, and that's just really something. It's not. I think where we're at right now, we don't really have solutions. We're really in the hunker down, and oh my God, this kind of things sink in. In the beginning, everybody rushes for the toilet paper and says, "Hey, we're fine," and then all of a sudden, it's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Wait a minute! I'm becoming more of an observer right now." And remember that helplessness causes trauma.
Yeah.
That's so important to remember that. We get traumatized when we're exposed to a situation that we cannot change at will. That's the traumatic part of it. That is actually why it's safer for a lot of doctors and a lot of people in the EMT field to just go out and do stuff right now. They get less traumatized by going out and do what they're trained. And you see that a lot of people are activating, self-activating, or doing, I don't even know how many, faith class people are making right now.
Everyone who can make it.
Just to be able to do something.
Exactly.
And the reason is because that increases resiliency. It's not just a medical reason. It's really this feeling of, I have something to do. There's something I can change. I can be in charge. I have strength. And just keeping ourselves focused. That is another piece of resiliency, right?
Yeah. So I did the right thing by starting getting into action and doing something. Right?
Well, you also did the right thing for showing up to the call and saying, "Hey, I'm
I
really
thought,
worried
oh,
about my
Ingrid,
friend."
he's doing something like this too. I need help.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ingrid.
So many of us feel this way right now. Yeah, thank you for saying that. Yeah, Wendy, let me unmute you, hon. Just a minute. I'm going to mute you again. Yes.
Am I done?
Yes, you are.
That was really bringing up something for me, so thank you for doing that as well. I'm in England now. We're coming up for 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. in England, and I don't know whether anyone knows, but our Prime Minister is in intensive care, and his condition seems to be worsening. And I just realised when we were just how afraid that made me. So, being able to send out the right kind of energy from my heart rather than the fear. But I realised that it brought up something in additional because, well, A, no one is spared, but B, what is going to happen? When our leaders are sick and when our leaders can't function and they can't make the decisions they need to make, that's made me feel really vulnerable.
Yeah, I hear you. And I'm going to say something really sarcastic right now, and it's totally political, and I apologize. I wish there were some leaders we had that would make decisions right now. I get it. Okay, so it's a fear of chaos, fear of it getting real, a fear of it being real. You do know he has a replacement. You do know that he gave his powers to the.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. But yes, and of course, that's all going on. But it's also that sense our attitude towards our Prime Minister has changed quite dramatically during this time. Everyone has started to really respect him, even those that really have not had very much respect for him up to now, suddenly realise how much he is behind us and how he's being a true Brit, sort of, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And very caring and very self-sacrificing.
Yeah, wonderful. So so why don't we just tap on that? What is your biggest concern right now, and where do you feel this in your body?
I think it's about leaders in general. I'm just thinking about other countries as well, and all the confusion that we have around our leaders, and are they okay, or are they doing the right things? Are they making the right decisions for us? This is so important. This is so important that they have that they do the right thing by everyone.
Yeah.
And that that they've got a lot of lives in their hands, that they're holding in their hands, really, according
Yeah.
to the decisions they make. Does
Deep
that
breath.
make any sense?
It makes perfect sense. And you guys, do you hear helplessness there again? Okay. I really, and I always like to throw in just a little bit of a teaching moment in these things, because when we are so wrapped up in lurking chaos, real chaos, danger, whatever it is, we got to know what to focus on. We got to know what the issue actually is. And sometimes it's boredom and just not knowing what to do with ourselves. And right now it's literally helplessness in a phase of danger. And we got to find a way to take the charge out of the helplessness. Right? We have to. And just food for thought. And you know that the things I'm saying are probably just my opinion or my point of view, or also just my own self-talk to get through. You may have a different one. I'm not asking you to adopt my worldview or point of view by any means, right? I'm just, maybe whatever I'm saying triggers something in you that's more helpful for you. So just be super clear on this, always. But if you didn't have television, would you know any of this? Would your life be completely different from one day to the other?
Yeah, definitely.
Right? 90% of the things that are going on, we don't know. We just know what's being told. Just to put this into perspective, not to be saying this is not obviously extremely concerning. Another piece to this is that we are not being told 90% of the things that are going on anyways. You can be absolutely certain that every government in the world right now has a plan D and F and W, whatever, right? They have been thinking this through, right? They have people sorted out everywhere. They have people standing by. That doesn't mean it's going to be okay, but it also means that it's not on us to change it. And if something horrible happens, then plan B will kick in. It's not like people think, we never thought about this. What if a world leader gets sick, right? We already had world leaders get sick and actually they recovered. Remember that? Okay. So the reason I'm saying this now is also because I want your subconscious mind to kick back in, borrow from experience as a teaching moment, borrow from experience, hook one together with the other, same way we did with Australia earlier, to say, I've been in this situation before and I knew the outcome was finally okay. When you do that, you reprogram your subconscious mind to actually step into resiliency. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the point. That's where we're at. All we can do right now is wait this out. There's nothing else we can do. Disinfect the broccoli, honey. Keep it clean, stay away, and just make sure that we don't get infected. And that's all we can do. And the rest is we'll figure it out. That being said, I get you. I totally get you. And is anybody else feeling this way or understanding that? Show of hands really quick. Yeah. See, this is a big deal. Karate Chop point, even though I'm so concerned right now.
Even though I'm so concerned right now.
And I don't know what to make of it.
And I don't know what to make of it all.
He is in intensive care.
He is in intensive care.
That's frightening to us.
It's frightening to us.
My country has been through so much these past years.
My country's been through so much these past years.
We've lost so much.
So much.
We sacrificed so much.
Sacrificed so much.
We lost dear friends and alliances.
We've lost dear friends and alliances.
People have been looking at us.
People have been looking at us.
We felt isolated.
We felt isolated.
We are isolated.
We are isolated.
At least on some level.
At least on some level.
But not on another.
But not on another.
And finally. Some sense of clarity started to set in.
Some sense of clarity started to
We started to see a direction.
We started to see a direction.
We started to have faith again.
Started to have faith again.
And we needed that in this moment of terror.
We need that in this moment of terror.
And damn it, the leader's getting sick himself.
Damn it, he just gets sick himself.
I'm just going to honor that feeling.
I'm just going to honor that feeling.
My deep desire for peace and safety.
my deep desire for peace and safety.
with great kindness and compassion.
Great kindness and compassion.
And even though it's so unfair to me,
And even though it's so unfair,
it's unfair to this country,
it's unfair to this country.
it's unfair to the people who are living here,
It's unfair to living here.
it's unfair to the world,
It's unfair to the world.
it's unfair considering all the ways in which we have been fighting
It's unfair considering all the ways which we've been fighting
and the sacrifices we were forced to make.
and the sacrifices we were forced.
And I'm so worried that he's going to get really ill.
And I'm so worried. Yeah.
That he's going to get really ill.
I'm so worried that he's going to die.
I'm so worried that he's going to die. Okay, let's just stop there. I'm so worried he's going to die.
So worried he's going to die.
When something's really true, teaching moment, I want to just slow it down and just let this sink in. You don't have to frantically get yourself out of that. This is where we're at right now. I'm so worried that he's going to die. Outside of the eye. I'm so worried that he's going to die.
That he's going to die.
Under the eye. I really need good news today.
Really need good news today.
Nose and upper lip. So worried that he's going to die.
So worried that he's going to die.
Lower lip and chin. I'm so worried that he's going to die.
So worried that he's going to die.
Collarbone. What would happen then?
What would happen then?
Under the arm. What would happen then?
What would happen then?
Top of your head. I'm so worried that he's going to die.
So worried that he's going to die.
Take a breath.
The intensity of that's gone down.
Okay. I'm still worried. I'm still worried.
I'm still worried.
Inside of the eyebrow. I still don't know the outcome of this.
I still don't know the outcome.
Outside of the eye. And I feel so helpless right now.
I feel so helpless right now.
Under the eye. I'm so worried that he's going to die.
So worried that he's going to die.
Nose and upper lip. I have this thought in my mind.
I have this thought in my mind.
Lower lip and chin. I have this fear in my heart.
I have this fear in my heart.
Collarbone. I have this fear in my heart.
This fear in my heart.
Under the arm. I'm so worried that he's going to die.
So worried that he's going to die.
Top of your head. So worried that he's going to die.
So worried that he's going to die.
Take a breath.
Have to trust the bigger picture. It's just trusting that bigger picture.
Okay. Karate chop point. Even though I don't know
Even though I don't know
what the future is going to bring,
what the future will bring,
I choose
I choose
to be surprisingly okay with that.
to be surprisingly okay with that.
And even though I don't know yet
even though I don't know yet
how this is all going to work itself out.
how this is all going to work itself out.
I choose
I choose
to feel surprisingly calm and confident anyways.
to feel surprisingly confident anyway.
And even though I don't know yet,
And even though I don't know yet,
but I will know a year from now,
but I will know now,
what I will know a year from now,
I will know a year from now,
and what I will know 2 years from now,
and
what I will know 2 years from now,
what I will know 2 years from now,
and 5 years from now,
and 5 years from now,
and 10 years from now.
and 10 years from now.
I don't know that yet.
I don't know that yet.
I choose to allow myself to know
To allow myself to know
that I will look back at this moment,
that I will look back a moment,
the times of confusion and fear,
the times of confusion and fear,
and how I had to get through them,
and how I had to get through them,
even though I didn't always know how.
even though I didn't always know how.
Top of your head. I don't know yet.
I don't know yet.
Inside of the air, but what I will know 5 years from now.
I know 5 years from now.
Outside of the air. The truth is,
The truth is,
under the eye, a Brit is a Brit.
a Brit is a Brit.
No snap lip, and we've always figured things out somehow.
And we've always figured the things out somehow.
Lower lip and chin, just a stiff upper lip.
Just to stiff upper lip.
Collarbone, the way we've always done.
The way we've always done.
Boris better get his shit together.
Boris better get his shit together.
Because we need him right now.
Because we need him right now.
He needs to get out of that hospital, out of that ICU.
He needs to get out of that ICU.
He needs to get out of that hospital.
Needs to get out of that
He
hospital.
needs to push that virus out
Need to push that virus out.
and put on his suit and get back to work.
Take time to recover and put on his suit and
Take a
get
day
back.
to recover and get back to work. Because we need him right now.
Because we need him right now.
We need leadership right now.
We need leadership right now.
We need people who talk to each other and trust each other
We need people who talk to each other and trust each other
the way we talk to each other as well.
the way we talk to each other as well.
We need people who know how to create a better future
We need people who know how to create a better future
and who share what they have
and who share what they have,
and do what they need to
do what they need to do,
pulling their weight,
pulling their weight,
getting it done.
getting things
It's done. Take responsibility,
take responsibility,
communicate and collaborate,
communicate and collaborate,
and don't waste their lives in ICUs.
and don't waste their lives in
Because
ICUs
we need them right now.
because we need them right now.
Because that stiff upper lip
That stiff upper lip
is not going to last forever.
is not going to last forever.
Take a breath.
Much lighter, much lighter. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ingrid.
Yeah. And I see in some faces here that other people are also smiling right now, right? You know, we are all leaders in some fashion or another. We really are, you know, and everybody's pulling their weight. And that's really important to know that and to remember that and to just show up where we can. Just remember if my dear friend Richard Fluke says, my advice to my grandson is the virus is like an active enemy sniper. Keep a low profile, limit your exposure, and you will be okay. That's obviously coming from a military man. And it's good advice. You know, just because there's somebody shooting out there doesn't mean he's going to hit you. Right? But you got to keep your head down. You're not going to be stupid. You're not going to look into the sun and say, it's not going to hit me. You know, it's just learning a lesson, I think, is a good idea. Learning that lesson is a good idea in general, because Yeah, it used to always be this way. When people were out there hunting and gathering, they knew that if they don't come home with food, they're not going to be eating, right? And we kind of don't have, in many of our countries, we don't live like that anymore. It kind of brings us back to our roots. So that if there's anything good in it, it's that. Yeah, but we just have to come together. We just have to figure this out together, and see what is excess fear and what is totally appropriate, and share, and care, and really, really, really care. And I think the caring that we have right now is an international caring. What I'm noticing, and I think this is a wonderful thing, people from all over the world are swapping resources and bringing things in and showing up and saying hello and saying, oh, I got some and I don't need them. And this is happening more and more. It's not true for everybody, but it's true for a lot of people, and it's true for the people that I want to be surrounded by right now. So for whatever that's worth, I mean, there's got to be something good in it, right? It is 11:11. Does somebody have an urgent thing that you would like to tap on? Otherwise, I would say let's do it again next week. Actually, hold on. I'm not going to be able to do it next week on Tuesday. I will find a different day in the day and just post the recording there, but I'm actually out a full day on a webinar next week. But I can probably do it on I think I can do it on Wednesday. Let me look into my calendar and I'll let you know. If there's a certain day that you prefer, shoot me an email, and if I can make it, I will. Okay. Anything else? Does somebody have something urgent right now? Yes, Nancy. Hold on, let me just unmute you, love, and then I mute everybody. Yes.
It's not an urgent thing to tap on, but when you were working, really, something came back into my mind that I thought about, and there's so much going on right now that it's easy for thoughts to come in and then poof, they're gone. But one of the things that I've been doing is going through and writing testimonials for people and for restaurants and for things I've purchased on Amazon and whatever. And when she was talking, the thank you notes came to mind, and that's something that we can do right now. Just to say hi and tell people you care, and give your favorite restaurant a great shout out on Yelp or Google or whatever, and help them that way, because when this breaks and things go back to whatever that new normal is going to be, that's giving them a boost right now that they'll be able to use later.
Totally. I actually I decided that I'm not going to use the buzzer that my husband is using, so this is just going to grow out, and over time, all our natural hair colors are just going to be shown up in public. But I actually did a shout out to my hairstylist. She's lovely. Nice. She's amazing. She's in her own business, and so I know she's going to be there. And I said, would you like me to pay for a session now that I take when I can leave the house? It doesn't matter to me. I will, so, but she needed to shut down. So I'm happy to do that. If that helps her right now to open up a little sooner, that's an easy one. It's not even a sacrifice. It's just paying it forward in a certain way, and you can still tip over there. But these are little things that are happening right now that are really, really lovely. And what I found is that the more we do this, the more is coming back, and the more it is coming back, the more we're creating it's almost like an alternative life to this, a very loving community, a very on their toes community. That's another thing I'm noticing, is people are really on their toes. You say, hey, I struggle with this. They think, oh, I know somebody, or I can do this, or they just really kick into being awake and alert and supportive. And that's all actually really, really good. The hypervigilant and the excess, that's not good. That's not necessary. There are times when it's good, but there are times when it's just not. That's not necessary. But the being on our toes, looking for resources, sharing resources, keeping to ourselves what we need to keep. I think this is another thing we should probably tap on maybe next time. You also got to make sure that you have for yourself what you need, right? Not giving everything you need to somebody else, believing they need it more than you. You're also in charge of your own needs right now, right? And some people actually do this, right? They over give away, and then you say, well, do you have any? Oh, I don't need any. And that's not cool. because from the view of the universe, they don't really care if one has and the other doesn't, right? It's kind of like everybody should be provided for, and you are the easiest person to take care of for yourself, right? So if you don't take care of yourself, then you need somebody else to do it, and that's not fair to them, and it doesn't make any sense. Does it make sense?
Mm.
Yeah. So remember this, especially in these difficult times, that taking care of your own needs first is like putting on that mask in the airplane first. Not because you're selfish or whatever it is, but simply because you want to get out of other people's concern. You don't want other people to worry about you, not because you tell them you're okay, but because you actually are. Make sense? Great. So if that's being said, let's just do one last round of gratitude tapping, and then we can, I'm going to open up the microphones, and I am going to, we can just say, oh, bye-byes for this time, and then we see each other next time, just not on Tuesday, but I'm going to put out the date for that, okay? Karate chop point, even though this is harder than I ever thought it would be, I choose to be grateful for my life. And even though I never saw this coming, I could have never seen this coming. There was no way to ever see this coming. I choose now to be surprisingly at peace with that anyways. And even though the truth is that I don't know what the future is going to bring, the other truth is that I've never known what the future is going to bring. I just didn't worry about it as much as I'm worrying about it today. But I'm here. I'm capable. I'm safe. I'm smart. I'm resourceful. I'm resilient. And I'm more loved than I will ever know. And so it might be safe to feel surprisingly at peace right now. Top of your head, this is a big deal. Inside of the Abba, but I'm grateful for my life anyways. Outside of the eye, I never saw this coming. Under the eye, but I'm grateful that I'm finding more and more ways to handle it. Nose and upper lip, it hits me by surprise and it scares me. Lower lip and chin, but I'm grateful that I'm not alone. I'm connected and protected. Collarbone, I feel isolated and I don't want to feel that way. Under the arm, but the truth is that I just spent an hour on a call with a ton of people I didn't know before. Top of your head, maybe it's just different now. Inside of the eyebrow, in an unusual way. Outside of the eye, maybe there are hidden blessings in this. Under the eye, even though I miss how things used to be. Nose and upper lip, but one truth might be, lower lip and chin, that I used to be asleep in some ways. Collarbone, that I took my blessings for granted. Under the arm, that I just assumed it was all going to be okay again. Top of your head, and here I am. Inside of the eyebrow, step by step. Outside of the eye, with dignity. Under the eye, with humbleness. Nose and upper lip, with grace. lower lip and chin, and a surprising level of confidence. Collarbone, I move forward with caution and self-respect. Under the arm, to find new ways to live and connect. Top of head, that will turn out to be one of the biggest blessings in my life. And even though I don't know yet how it's all going to turn out, I choose to be surprisingly okay with that. And I'm deeply grateful for my life and everybody in it. What a trip. Take a deep breath. All right, dearest, I will unmute you really quick, and then we can just say a last hello. I think you're all unmuted now. Yeah, we should hear that.
Thank you, Ingrid.
Self.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you, Ingrid.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thanks.
And I think you all realized
you.
that you felt each other, even whether you were
Yeah.
talking or not. You know, the community is feelable and visible in there. And sometimes other people, even strangers, talk straight from your heart. We're really not alone in this. How you feel is normal, and how you feel is okay. We'll get through this.
Yeah, we will. Step up, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, please connect with me on my Facebook page, Ingrid Maria Dinter. Connect with me because this video is also going to be posted there. Okay, make sure you do that. Make sure you share it because I think these resources should be shared, and that's the easiest way to do it. All right. Talk soon. Bye, you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.